I call to order the sixth regular meeting of the Lake County Board of Commissioners. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for the invocation. Dear God, please bless our meeting today. May our discussions be fruitful, our decisions wise, and our community strong. Amen. Amen. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Commissioner Bregovich.
Here.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Here.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Present. I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes of our organizational meeting of January 4th, 2024, and regular meetings of January 4th, 11th, 19th, and 25th, 2024.
I'll make a motion to approve those minutes.
And perhaps waive the reading thereof, unless we'd like to hear from our clerk.
And waive the reading thereof.
Second.
Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Bregovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes. Now it's time for our public comment portion. Any member of the public who'd like to address the Board of Commissioners, please approach the podium, and you have 3 minutes after stating your name and address.
Good morning.
Morning.
I came to remind you again of the things that I don't have because my road is still closed.
Ma'am, can you
And-
state your name and address?
Oh, I'm sorry, I have one. Gilda Spencer, 5580 Ford Road, Madison, Ohio. Okay. Okay, so I still have no school bus service, and when I checked with the engineer's office, they are getting ready to start working on the road, but it's probably going to be sometime next fall. So then I have no police service, but the township, Madison Township Police Chief called me and told me that they are going to start trying to patrol out my way. If something serious comes up or catastrophic, they will definitely come. But if it's something minor, they probably will not. So then I don't have sheriff coverage because I have Madison Township Police. So, so that kind of, there's really nothing out there. So then when you get to,
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Yes.
Can you bring the microphone down
okay.
so they hear you on tape?
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. And then when it comes to EMS, if they have to get to me and they come from Leroy, which is partial volunteer, they have to go down Leroy Center, all the way down Brewman Road to Route 84, to Adams Road, up River Road, to Blair Road, up to Ford, and then get to me. And in that process, Leroy, Madison, Perry, they have to go through all those townships. If you come from the Madison way, you're coming down 528 and you're coming to River Road, you're going to follow River Road all the way down to Blair, Blair all the way up to Ford. And that once again, we're looking at a long distance and lots of time. So in Perry, they might come, but they are on 84 and they're not sure because they have so many calls for themselves. And we have a children's home out there, and we have a lot of elderly people. So it becomes a safety issue. And let's see. And then in my journey here, coming to these meetings, I have watched and learned a lot. And my one thing is, now the engineer isn't allowed to come, so we can't ask him questions, and we're supposed to call him. So I'm not real sure why they're not allowed to all of a sudden not come anymore. And then we used to have 3 public speaking things, or two, I'm sorry, two. And now we only have one. So I don't understand that because we're not supposed to ask any questions or get answers, but who do I ask? I mean, do I call you personally to find something out if I'm not allowed to ask you from here? I know, you can't answer me. So, so these things for me are all political. And then we have someone from Mentor running for the next commissioner's seat.
Ma'am,
Yes.
just so you know, your time's expired, so if you could finish your thought.
Okay, who's going to look out for this end of the county if you all live towards Willoughby and he's in Mentor? And I know you can't answer that, but these are questions I have. So, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else for public portion?
My name is Barbara Carpenter. My address is 8060 Deepwood Boulevard. And I'm here because I'm going to be going on TV, and I wanted to give you the chance to maybe make it right. I've had nightmares for 26 years because on December 31st, 1998, a wonderful friend of mine who gave millions of dollars to Lake County was murdered. He was murdered on that day. I know he was murdered. The company I worked for, I told them that his life was in danger, and it was Maria Petrick, his housekeeper, who killed him. So help me God, I know she killed him. When I'm on TV, it's going to be at least an hour when I tell them everything that this woman did to try to kill him and make it look like an accident. There were guns involved, there was poison involved. This woman killed him, okay? So after he died, I went to the Wade Hill Police and I talked to the police chief. And I told them that Maria killed him. He says, Barb, someone else was here too to say the same thing, another woman, okay? He had another police come. And he said, go to the prosecutor and tell him, so we can investigate this, okay? The prosecutor never investigated. And he told the police that they could not investigate. I was furious. And I called him. And I said, why didn't you investigate this murder? I mean, my company, I quit my company because they weren't investigating. I told them, I said, this man's life is in danger. And anyways, it's been a nightmare. But when I called him, I told him, why didn't you? He hung up on me, okay? I told you to tell him to call me, and he didn't call me, okay? You know why I think he didn't investigate? I think Maria paid him off with blood money. This is what I think. I'm a Christian. I would not say that unless I believed it 100%. So I'm going to go on TV, and I'm going to talk about Heather Mosman, too, your guardian from hell, what she did to me and my great-granddaughter, who was sexually abused, and Heather ended up putting her in more danger than what she was before. Heather is the devil. When I went to her office, she let me talk for 10 minutes. She called me stupid, and she kicked me out. She said, get the hell out of my office. So I'm going to be on TV. I was on TV before. And the Cleveland police told me, Barb, your life's going to be in danger. Tom Myers did a thing on me, and all week he advertised it. It was about the guns.
Ma'am,
Yes.
your time has expired, so if you could finish your thought.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, here's some people that believe me to be a wonderful person, okay? I love Dr. Maston. He even asked me to marry him. And he told me how much he loved me. I said, Dr. Maston, I love you too, but I can't marry you. I loved him like a father. But I've gone through hell because of Heather and because of what Maria did and your prosecutor. I did talk to the FBI. I want you to know that.
Once again, ma'am, if
Okay,
you could
all
please
right.
finish your thought.
Well, here, I don't know who wants. I'll put it over here. If anyone wants to read this.
You can give the copy to the
If
clerk.
anyone wants to read it, anyone wants to call me, anyone wants to talk to me about this, Otherwise, you're going to see it all on TV. If anyone wants to meet with me, I'll take you to my family's restaurant. TJ
Thank you.
Avenue. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else for public portion?
Go ahead, Bishop.
It is such a blessing. My name is Juad Mebel, 1049 Wentwood Drive. It is such a blessing to stand before you today, the three of you, and all the great people here today. I'm so pleased. When I came here, I was 31. For me to be able to sit in Lake Trent, it's amazing to see how important Lake Trent is. I'd like to say thank you for all of you, and before and after that, make sure that the seniors have transportation. Thank you so much. Thank you, government. Thank you. Thank you, commissioners.
Thank you for the promotion. Anyone else for public portion?
John Music, 45 Coventry Drive. Just want to remind everyone, don't forget Valentine's Day is next Wednesday, and this is leap year, so if anybody has any concerns, this is leap years. But anyhow, I want to talk about, first of all, and I'm sure it'll be brought up, Resolution 5, they're going to be talking about that, and you will be voting on it, about that purchase. I'd just like to, get some details. I'm sure Jason will give them about that, about why we're doing it and so forth and so forth. So I just think. And lastly, I want to talk about those two gentlemen sitting in back. I live in Painesville Township, and last year we added to our property taxes for 2 more deputies 24/7. And as you know, if we don't have police protection, law enforcement, we won't have nothing in this country. And I am sure the sheriff and the chief deputy Izzo back there, they're going through things that no other sheriff has gone through. They are dealing with these things, and they're not all here yet. They're in our country, but they aren't all here. They have a very, very, very tough job. And the thing about it is, in my opinion, crime is rampant. I've seen more, just like I do read, and just like I was against legalizing marijuana, and the legislators still working some stuff in there on that. But anyhow, because the Buckeye State Sheriff's Association was opposed, the Ohio Fraternal Order for Police was opposed it, Children's Hospital was against it, and just like now, I don't know if you saw that, where the number of children 15 to 24 have more and more mental illnesses. It's increased, and drugs are part of the reason, and marijuana is part of the problem. And and just lastly, like I always say, I always listen to On Patrol Live. And like I've said this, the one gentleman, he got on a traffic stop, and I'm glad, if you've seen the papers here recently, our sheriff has done an awesome job out there for us on road patrol, because as we all know, traffic stops usually lead to more and more arrest for various reasons. But they were saying, the guy says, "Oh, I bought marijuana this morning," or recently, and I don't remember if it was a deputy or if it was from a police department, and he said, "Well, you said you just bought it. We just checked the record with the state, and last time you bought marijuana from one of our dispensaries was back in October." The drug cartels and the gangs are so happy that Ohio passed that law, because they are going to thrive. So our sheriff is going to deal with many, many problems that nobody else has ever dealt with. Thank you.
Thank you.
Brian Massey, 8196 Rainbow Drive, on behalf of Lobbyists for Citizens. I've got several items, but I'll try to move through them very quickly. I'd like to give a public thanks to Bishop Maribel for allowing us to communicate with his congregation this past Sunday and giving them an explanation of what is going to happen to property values and taxes in 2024 and 2025. I'd also like to give a public thanks to Mr. Joey Tomsick of Lake County Council on Aging for spending a great deal of time with my Christian brother Leonard Gilbert and I, and allowing us to inform the Council on Aging about the estimated 30% increase in property values in 2024 to be collected in 2025. We are ready, willing, and able to help the Council on Aging on getting the message out to their seniors. We would like to eliminate any anxiety that we believe will happen when the Lake County seniors see their 2025 property tax bill. Also, public thanks to Treasurer Mike Zern for spending time with Leonard and myself, and an 86-year-old widow from Leroy Township. She got her tax bill for 2024 and contacted us for help. She was afraid that she would lose her home that she and her husband built over 50 years ago. Treasurer Zern was very kind, mentioned that he, as treasurer, would not foreclose on any home of any Lake County homeowner as long as they are making monthly payments on their property tax bill. Any unpaid taxes would be recouped by the county when the property is sold or transferred to family members. Since this policy is merely a verbal statement by Treasurer Zern, we would like to see something in writing so that the citizens can be assured that promises will be kept. We would like to see the policy throughout the state of Ohio. Would the commissioners be willing to step up to help the citizens in some way to ensure that they will not have any fear of being forced out of their homes? Although we appreciate the policy of Treasurer Zern, it is just an interim step until we can convince people that property ownership is the foundation of freedom and is needed to transfer wealth from one generation to another. Ultimately, we'd like to see the property taxes abolished since they're not biblical. The state should have no role in the education of children. That is the role of the family. Any tax that, if unpaid, causes a citizen to become homeless is immoral. I'd also like to mention to the commissioners with 24 seconds left that we are going to move forward and get 2,836 signatures to add 2 citizens to the County Budget Commission. I'm also concerned about seniors when appraisers are going to be showing up at their home, or in 2024, there is a possibility of some real evildoers harming seniors when they're not really appraisers. So we'd like to somehow get the message out, whether it's through Job and Family Services, so that the seniors know what to expect. And if somebody knocks on their door and say they're appraisers, and I know they don't go into homes, but evildoers may do that. And the same thing is true. I had some communication with citizens regarding building departments coming in and for inspections. I'm just wondering, what are the rules and regulations of the building department that's going on to a public private property and doing some inspections? Are there rules and regulations, and what should the citizen expect? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else for public portion?
Chris Weiss, Trask Road, Leroy. Boss Plechnik, Commissioner Hammercheck, Commissioner Regovich, good morning. All you had to do is the job the people elected you to do. If you'd only been willing to do that, I'd never had a reason to come up here to this podium and speak. But you had to start playing the same games here that you did, that I later found out you had been doing in Willoughby Hills, and even in New York when you lived over there. You've been running your own agenda against the interests of Lake County. You bullied the county engineer out of this meeting, budget director out of his job, caused the prosecutor to send you repeated memos on how you're violating the Ohio Revised Code, or more importantly, to instruct you how the Ohio Revised Code applies to you and the duties of your office. That's how you came up on my radar. So I started coming up here and calling you out on your antics. And as I anticipated, just as like when you walk into a dirty kitchen and you flip the light on, the cockroaches all go running, that's exactly what happened. And along the way, a lot of people who aren't don't have the constitution to face you directly started coming to me. Some people from Willoughby Hills got in contact with me last week. Boy, do they hate you. Oh my God, do they dislike you. I even got this book from a concerned citizen in Willoughby Hills. We're going to refer to him as Deep Throat, and his real name's not Mark Felt. Seems that going from your little pancake breakfast to the working for the library board and saving the people from having to remodel the library guys' offices, you then got onto city council and immediately went to war with the city council, bullied other people off of that council, got control of it. Then you went to war with the mayor and the city prosecutor, to the extent that even though you're a commissioner no taxes, your taxes have cost the people of Willoughby Hills untold millions of dollars, $800,000 in one union busting fiasco that you did, despite being told by competent attorneys that what you were doing was contrary to law. But as we've seen here in this room, you don't want to listen to the county prosecutor when he tells you what your job is supposed to be and how to do it. So, and here we go. So basically, I started reading this book through, and oh my God, there is so many things that evidence your criminality. It's just not even funny. I don't have the time to go into it all here, but we'll make a serial out of it, okay? And I'll come up and give 3 minutes of it every day from now until the next time you're up for election. Oh, and by the way, I also noticed that every central committee seat in Willoughby Hills is in play right now. Kind of shows you how much they like you over there. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Anyone else for public portion?
John Mara, 39 Minnewawa Drive. I guess we need to know what the definition of hate speech is and if it's allowable and tolerable. Anyway, I want to go off Mr. Massey, what he was saying about property tax evaluations. I brought up at the last commissioners meeting about how we don't know what their evaluation process is and how they can justify increasing properties 30% overall when basically a lot of the properties should be basically depreciated because they're in horrible shape and most of them need to be torn down. Again, I think a process needs to be looked at. I went to the treasurer's office. I contacted them. There's nothing they can do as far as evaluation. It's something that we have to bring to our senator. So I guess our next step is to contact Senator Serino, and I would like to request the help of commissioners to do that, to basically go and at least sit in front of them and then go into the detail of why we feel that this is not the proper way to assess the properties and evaluate the properties, and also what a fair way would be, again, because a lot of the seniors, this is their forever home. They're going to be living in their homes till they pass on, and basically they're being taxed out of their home. And again, even though that it's a great effort that they will not foreclose on the properties, but the problem is that they're going to penalize the estate by basically overcharging, and all those taxes will have to be paid when the estate then gets settled. And again, that deprives the family of getting the money that they should inherit, again, for a house that's really not valued properly, and that's where the problem is. And then again, a person who does keep their property up, it's not fair that they're going to be taxed even more to keep that value up, and then when they sell it, they're going to have to pay capital gains on that also when they put all that money into it. So again, the whole system needs to be fair and reasonable, and that's what we need to look into and talk to our senator about, so we can hopefully, before it gets into the appraisal phase this year and into next year, and this way, we can maybe cut it off at the pass. So thank you for listening.
Thank you. Anyone else for public portion? Anyone else? Going once, going twice? Then on to resolutions. Madam Clerk.
In the engineer's office, resolution authorizing the Lake County engineer to enter into a local public agent LPA agreement with the Director of Transportation of the State of Ohio for the LAK Middle Ridge Road County Road 022 resurfacing project, PID number 119690, LCE project number 2023-012.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Pletcher.
Yes.
Resolution authorizing final approval and acceptance of a 3-year maintenance surety for Villas of Canterwood Farms Phase 2 subdivision in Concord Township.
Move to approve.
Second. Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
In the Utilities Department, resolution providing for $2,175,000 notes for the Lake County Department of Utilities Kirtland Old Town Sanitary Sewer Project 445S.
Move to approve.
Second. Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
And the Commissioner's Office, resolution reappointing Sandra F. Coffey as a member of the Board of Trustees of the Lake County Library District for a 7-year term commencing February 8th, 2024 and ending February 7th, 2031.
Move to approve.
Second. Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Resolution authorizing the Lake County Administrator to execute an agreement for purchase and sale for real property located at 100 West Erie Street in the city of Painesville, Ohio.
Move to approve.
Second. Any discussion?
Did we want Jason, Mr. President?
Commissioner Hammercheck?
No, did we want Jason?
If Jason would be willing,
Yeah.
Mr. Boyd, would you address the question that Mr. Music raised?
Be happy to do so. Yeah, a resolution in front of you this morning deals with an office building about a block west of Erie Street and Richmond Street in Painesville. This building represents a really good opportunity for the county and some of the office needs that we have, not only in current space, but as a result of the Public Safety Center planning project. As everyone knows, the proposed site is directly across the street from the jail. This particular parcel represents an office opportunity, whereas previous acquisitions have been for site and construction, i.e. the buildings will be coming down. This particular building is a former office building, about 1.3 acres, about 14,000 square feet, newer roof, newer HVAC, and plenty of parking. The resolution in front of you is a purchase agreement with the potential closing date of March the 4th, and it's part of our long-term strategic planning process as it relates to the Public Safety Center and required office spaces that are needed to provide space for various county offices throughout Lake County.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Madam Clerk, if there's no further discussion, roll call.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Resolution authorizing execution of a work amendment to the agreement between the Lake County Board of Commissioners and Burgess and Nyepel Incorporated for additional design professional services for courthouse HVAC upgrades.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
In the Finance Department, resolution approving payment of bills as listed on the Commissioner's Approval Journal in the amount of $2,885,622.89.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Resolution approving purchase orders as listed on the Commissioner's Purchase Order Approval Journal in the amount of $4,480,793.37.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Resolution increasing and decreasing appropriations for various non-general fund accounts.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes. With resolutions complete, it's time for departmental reports, starting with utilities.
Thank you, Commissioner, and thank you for passing resolution number 3. This will allow us to enter into a construction contract to complete the Old Town sanitary sewer project in Kirtland, and the residents there also appreciate it. This is a project that the Commissioners awarded $1 million in ARPA money a year or so ago to contribute to that project and lower the cost for all those citizens. So this will wrap this up hopefully by the end of this year, and that will be complete, and they'll be able to start making connections to the sewer system.
Thank you. Job and Family Services.
No report today, Commissioner. Thank you.
Thank you. Our County Administrator.
Yes, Commissioners, just a weekly Public Safety Center update. We continue to proceed on schedule. As I noted a week or two ago, we have entered what's called the design development stage with HOK and their entire team. Yesterday was a full day with the sheriff and the chief and various county employees on a multitude of topics. As I use my Jason acronym I don't know what criteria, we're in the third inning of the 9-inning ball game right now, I would say. This particular next 2 or 3 innings is going to be about 12 to 18 weeks. We would anticipate the next 50% detailed design estimate in about 6 to 8 weeks from HOK. In those 6 to 8 weeks, we will continue to fine-tune some of what we're calling value engineering efforts that have went forth with the sheriffs. That is items that will not impact the operational or functionality of the building and the office, but will hopefully reduce costs as we continue to fine-tune the budget on this process. So, next week, is also a big week. It's the third week where we have HOK and various representatives in town for an all-day session where we'll start to talk about security, electronics, access control. So that's the level of detail that we're starting to get into. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Our clerk.
Yes, our next commissioner meeting is going to be next Thursday, February 15th at 10 a.m.
Wonderful. And legal.
No reports, Commissioner.
Thank you. That brings us to old business. Any old business for the commission to discuss? Hearing none, any new business? Going once, going twice? Then it's time for us to entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor? Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.